Right then, we are ready to do some sight singing now. So you should be looking at your sight singing book. We are moving on to page 25, exercise 31. So we have been learning about do, re, mi, so, and top do. Okay, so this is moving on with the same notes that you've learned already. There's a bit on page 25 here about rhythm. So again, we've done quite a lot with time signature changes. I think that you probably will be fine with this. But if you want to practice that, by all means do. The thing to note here is we're moving in exercise 31 onto a time signature where we're counting 2 minims in a bar, okay? So they're talking about that at the top of the page. So as we know, this is an American book. So instead of the word measure, we use bar. So the top 2 in our time signature means we count 2 beats in a bar, okay? And the bottom 2 means a minim, which Americans call a half note. A minim gets 1 beat. Okay, so really all we're thinking is we're just counting in groups of 2, and instead of crotchets being our beat, minims are our beat. That's really all there is to it. It shouldn't be any more complicated than that. So they've given you some help here if you want to draw some lines over where every beat falls. Again, if that helps you, do that. So let's have a look at exercise 31. We are in the key of E major. So here is your do. Here's your do. Here's your beat. And each of those are a minim. So you might think it's fast, but it isn't. If you look at the music, it's all minims pretty much. And other than that, you've got a few crotchets. So there would be 1 and 2 if you have a crotchet. Okay? So here's your do again. Do. Got 2 bars for nothing for part 1. So wait for it. Ready and 1, 2, 2, 2. Do. Okay, let's try that together. There's your do. Wait for the beats. 1, 2, 2, 2. Do, re, do, re, do, re, re, mi, mi, so, 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 mi, mi. Okay, it's quite straightforward, really. Right, let's look at part 2. There's a lot of do's here. There's your do. 1, 2. Do. Okay, let's try that together. There's your do. 1, 2. Do, 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 mi, mi, re, mi, mi, re, mi, re, do, do. Okay, so let's go through this together as we would normally do. I sing part 2 while you sing part 1. And then we'll swap straight over and I'll sing part 1 while you sing part 2, okay? So we should just be able to jump straight into this. Okay, there's your do. I'll start. Remember, you've got 2 bars to wait, okay? Do, 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 mi, mi, re, mi, mi, re, mi, re, do, do, swap. Do, re, do, re, do, re, re, mi, mi, so, 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 short little one, what we're going to do is just have a very quick look through the next couple of pages. So basically on the remainder of page 26, it's explaining to you how to read the notes and how to name the notes in the treble clef. So that's all there for you. The first 7 letters of the alphabet, and then it repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats, depending on how high or how low you go. So that's what it looks like when it's written on the stave. The lines, E, G, B, D, F, so there's all sorts of mnemonics for that. Every good boy deserves fun, or whatever, football. And then the spaces spell face, so that's nice and easy, space, face. And then up and down beyond that, you've got, as the alphabet would continue in either direction. And when we write notes above or below the stave with those little lines, those are called ledger lines. Moving on to the next page, you can see how octaves are written, notes are written an octave apart, with the same, the same letter name, etc., which we know this. Okay, fine. So, moving on to exercise 32, this is in the key of C major because we don't have any sharps or flats. And if you look, it's got 3 parts. However, part 2 and 3 are basically exactly the same, just an octave difference. So if you would normally sing in the bass clef, you look at the bass clef, and if you normally sing a second part in the treble clef, you look at the treble clef, but the notes are the same. So I'll only go over that once. Okay, so it's nice and gentle. It's a lullaby. We're still counting in 2-2, so we'll slow down our metronome beat here so that we are singing something that's an appropriate speed for what the song's about. And we'll jump straight in to part 1. Okay, so here is your do. Do. Here's your metronome beat. Okay, there's your beat. And that's a minim, remember, because we're in 2-2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Okay, so that's the speed we're going. Get ready, part 1, and okay, let's try it together. There's your do, ready, and do, do, re, re, mi, re, do, do, re, re, do, do, so, mi, re, do, so, mi, re, do. Okay, and the second part and the third part are both the same tune, okay, and in this case you're starting on top do. It's up there. Okay. 1, 2. Do. Okay, so let's try and sing that together. There's your note. Ready, and do, so, mi, re, mi, do, so, mi, re, do, so, mi. Right, so let's finish off by singing this one together in parts, as we would normally do. You sing part 1 and then straight into part 2 while I harmonize, okay? So there's your do. I'm starting higher. Ready? 1, 2. Do, so, mi, re, mi, do, so, mi, re, do, so, mi. Swap over and do, do, re, mi, re, do, do, re, do, do, so, mi, re, do, so, mi, re, do. Well done. Okay, we'll leave it there and we're going to move on to our Christmas songs now.